Greetings, colleagues and Dr. Kimball. A home for Marlon, the foster child, is a case that will surely pull at the heartstrings of many in education. Here we have a student who has been through significant trauma, estranged from his original family, and is required to adapt to the transition from foster home to foster home. There are many kids in our society who have suffered such hardships, and the question that we as educators must contend with is, how do we support this student to a path of stability in order that he becomes a reputable citizen in society? Then we take a glimpse at Mr. Campbell, who has the responsibility to uphold Marlon's rights and confidentiality, yet also make a desired decision that will impact the life of this student and all that involved. He is met with the great ethical dilemma of whether to inform a close colleague and friend of this student's past disruptions or honor the accountabilities of his job, which is to act in the best interest of this student and forgo all fears and moral values to uphold a professional ethic. I believe that Mr. Campbell made the right decision in this case. The ethics of care paradigm will have us view this case out of the lens of empathy and compassion for the student. It stipulates that as educators, caring for our students is the first step, and the article mentioned as the very bedrock of successful education. For students who have past like Marlon's, we must reflect and embrace loyalty, trust, and a sense of empowerment in order for this student to know that he has the support structure that is needed in order for him to thrive. Now, the case references a couple of times about always be a voice. Here, Mr. Campbell had to rationalize with the idea that he had to be that person who exhibits charity, mercy, forbearance, and benevolence to Marlon. He understood the conflict that he faced in this quandary, yet the voice of reason consistently boomed and reminded him of the victim's view. That I'm just a kid, Mr. Campbell, that I've made some mistakes in my life. I don't want to be passed on again. I just want the opportunity to do this life right, and more importantly, sir, please don't turn your back on me. There were several questions that I pondered in this case. For example, will Mr. Campbell respond unethically and violate the student's privacy and confidentiality? What interventions have been put in place to support the student? There were several important facts to highlight in this case, but I will share what I believe is most prevalent to the ethics of care paradigm. Mr. Campbell knew he should not act immediately. He needed time to evaluate the situation and make a reasoned decision. He analyzed his conflicting values that tried to conquer his feelings and beliefs of what next steps to take. And the care and protection of his student was central to his moral code, which indicates to me he wanted to respond in the best interest of Marlon. He viewed the child from a humanistic perspective, meaning he no longer regarded him as a monster but a child that endured trauma. The actions of Mr. Campbell fell in alignment with the ethic of care paradigm because he showed attentiveness. He paid very close attention to something that was not only difficult for him to consider, but he did so attending to the comfort of Marlon. He showed responsiveness. He reacted quickly and positively, considering all that he endured. Finally, he showed understanding and was sympathetically aware of Marlon's feelings as he showed tolerance and forgiveness towards his past transgressions while utilizing insight and good judgment as he made the final decision. In closing, I believe the next step is collaboration on behalf of all the educators involved with structuring a solid academic plan for Marlon. Although academic achievement is very important, with the child in trauma, it must take second place to compassion and empathy.